Today we have a new boss in town because Gemini Experimental 1114 is now available, and it's available for free, and it is leading the leaderboards when it comes to the Chatbot Arena leaderboards. So you can see here, these are based on the ratings from the community. Gemini Experimental 114 is at the top, and additionally you can see it's already beating ChatGPT for our latest O1 Preview, O1 Mini, Grok. Claude is all the way down there. You can see the rankings right here in terms of how this new AI is performing. So we'll be giving it a test run today, and additionally I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can use it for AI SEO, along with how you can get free access to this, because it is available for free. You don't need to pay for it, and it's outperforming paid models, for example, like Claude 3.5, something that I pay for, and also O1 Preview. So let's get straight into it. There's basically two ways you can get access to this. The first way is you can go to lmarena.ai. I'll leave the link inside the video notes from today, which you get free access to along with all the prompts. And you can see here inside the direct chat, you can choose between all the models. So we can select Gemini Experimental 114. And if we scroll down, we can start using it. Now, from what I've seen, this is basically Google's version or Google's answer to O1 Preview. So for example, inside ChatGPT, if we use O1 Preview or O1 Mini, basically this is really good for reasoning and chain of thought commands. Gemini is quite similar in that regard. Now let's give it a little test run. We're going to run some prompts. Now we will be testing it today. The other way that you can get access to it is you can go inside Google AI Studio. So that's available at aistudiogoogle.com. And if you go into the create a new prompt section, we can select our model down here. Now you actually get access to loads of different free models. One of them is the Gemini Experimental 1114 model right here. We'll test it side by side versus ChatGPT as well and Claude. So let's just give it a quick run right here. We're going to take some previous prompts that have worked really well with Claude, for example, tell me rank content before, and we'll take this prompts and plug that directly into Gemini to see what sort of magic it can do with the new model. So I've said create an SEO optimized article for this, heading equals what is SEO, for content creation do this, and then we'll hit run from here and see what we get. I'm also going to do the same inside ChatGPT, and additionally we can run the same prompt inside Claude and just see which one performs better, which one's giving the best outputs, right? So let's have a look at the content. It's still giving an output right here, so it's not that fast when it comes to writing content. Took about 30 seconds for that response. And if we scroll up here, yeah, 34.7 seconds. We compare that to ChatGPT, seemed to provide the response a lot faster, and Claude was pretty fast as well. Now let's pull up the outputs and we'll compare Gemini versus Claude for content writing. Also, it's got a red line right there. Why is that? Probability of unsafe content, content not permitted, and harassment in our SEO content. So I don't know what's happened there, but that's quite a strange notification, to be honest with you. But let's have a look what we got. So if we look at the actual title from Gemini versus Claude, we can see here that Claude gives us a much more interesting title. And if we compare the humanization of the content here versus here, it actually still feels like Gemini's responses are not that great, even on the new experimental model. You can see we've got it selected right there. So if you use the right model, but it's just, if you look at the response of the content, it says, ever sat there wondering why your amazing website's gathering dust while others seem to be raking it in? It just doesn't feel quite as interesting. Claude's, which is, listen, SEO isn't rocket science, but it's the difference between your website being a ghost town or Grand Central Station. If we scroll down, we actually look at the headings throughout the content. I mean, as soon as it starts saying content is still king, you know it's a little bit cliched. I'm not impressed by the writing style, but potentially it's just better for coding and for reasoning. We'll test that in a second. Let's see how long the content itself is. It's formatted it nicely, so I'll give it a plus for that. You can see here it's come back with 600 words. I think we did ask it to do 1,000 words inside the prompt. Let's take a look at this one, see what we got. Word count from Claude is a lot lower. So it actually seems like you get a longer, more in-depth response from Gemini. The writing style is not that nice compared to what I've seen from previous models. Let's compare this to ChatGPT. We'll see which is better. Yeah, ChatGPT, just AI red flags everywhere, right? As soon as you see the word game changer, you know it's AI generated. Yeah, I think Claude is still winning the competition, closely followed by both Gemini Experimental 1114 when we compare. So let's give it another go right now. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a website that was previously generated, as you can see right here. I'm going to grab that design and we're going to plug that into Gemini and ask it to code it, because it seems like for writing it's not that great, but maybe Gemini is better for actually coding and and generating, and it's more of a logical model than a creative one when it comes to writing. We'll make sure we've got the right model selected. You can actually change the temperature as well, which is going to allow more creativity, which could potentially be worth testing for writing content, etc. But I'm not going to play with that for now. I've screenshotted my website and I'm going to say code this website for me. It's actually pretty fast when it codes, to be fair. Like, it's generating the response nice, much faster than, say, using something like Bolt, but Bolt will give us a preview directly inside the chat. It's generating the CSS now. And if we actually plug that into a previewer, so, if you want to preview this sort of stuff when you're generating code, for example, with AI, you can just go on to codepen.io and then plug in the HTML, the CSS, etc. And then from here, we've got the website ready to go. And actually, it's done a great job there. I'm going to be fair. Let's be fair right here. I'm just going to move that up so you can preview the whole site. And yeah, that's pretty remarkable. Like, in one shot, it literally generated the whole code for the website. It's looking very, very similar. And if you compare them side by side, so you got the website that I previously had here, and this is the website generated by Gemini by the new version of Gemini in literally one single prompt. It even emulated the screenshot from Descript, so this is just because I had my face in the screenshot. Not bad at all, my friends. And then you could ask it to go off and code the whole site. Pretty impressive if you ask me. So for writing, there's no way I'm going to use Gemini Experimental 114, but for coding, not bad at all. Bear in mind, that was a one-take Drake. We literally just said, code this website for me, take the screenshot, it generated it, and boom shakalaka, we were off to the races. I think if you wanted, let's try something else now, right? So I'm going to create a new prompt. And bear in mind, like, you can also get the API for this. Now, I think there's going to be a couple of bugs on the API from what I read recently, but in the long run, you can actually get a free API key for Gemini, and then you can use this to code your own tools. You could create your own content writers, plug in the API from that, etc. There's some cool stuff you could do with this. Now, from here, what we're going to say is code a SEO calculator tool that's beautifully designed. So it's broken down the concepts, what it needs to do, etc., how it's going to do it. Now it's generating the HTML structure. And I can already see it's looking half decent on the HTML and the CSS preview. Let's just grab the JavaScript as well. Like, you can easily host this on WordPress or wherever you want, but to create a calculator in one single prompt, really, really easy. And this stuff actually ranks, right? So for example, this is a website we created as a one-page calculator page. You could ask Gemini to also create the content for the page as well. And if we preview where we're ranking for that keyword, you can see us ranking at the top right there. So this is not like a hypothetical use case. Like, you can actually build tools. These AIs, AI is very, very good for that, and it actually ranks with SEO, like you see right here, and you can create some super nice websites. This was generated with Bolt.new, but you could use the same method inside Gemini, and it wouldn't cost you a penny, whereas Bolt, for example, I've paid for a subscription previously. Now let's just test it actually works. So I'm going to plug in the keyword. We'll just put in some hypothetical numbers right here. CTA. We'll go for 5%, and ranking position we'll put as number 2. And then it has actually worked, right? So we can easily generate code and create tools that actually work, embed them to our website, rank them like I've already shown you. And from there, you can get pretty good results. So from what I've seen, Gemini is a step up, really good for coding, really good for creating stuff that requires logic, not great for creativity, not great for writing, etc. Now let's see how it works for actually bypassing AI detectors. So I'm just going to grab a prompt and an example piece of AI generated content right here, and we can see how this performs. Now, when I've used it with GPT-01, it was really, really easy and simple to use and to humanize that content to bypass AI detectors. Let's see if Gemini can do the same. We're going to plug that right here, hit run, and then we'll test it via Zero GPT, which is a free AI detection tool, because that's what most people will be using when it comes to SEO. And you can see it does bypass AI detectors straight off the bat, right? The actual output, you would just correct it in the ways that you want to. But for generating content that actually bypasses AI detectors in one single click, this prompt works, and Gemini is actually pretty good at doing this, right? Now, if we look at the warnings here, you can see it's giving you some weird like safety settings. So probability of unsafe content, etc. Very strange. I've never seen that before inside any other AI model, but Gemini seems to be pretty strict on that and runs its own filters, gives some warnings when I don't think that's necessary. However, for bypassing AI detectors, it's pretty good. So we got some good use cases out of that. And if you want to get access to all the video notes from today, all the prompts, etc., I've got a bunch of SOPs as well on how to use GPT-01 that you could also use with Gemini 111 Experimental. And if you want access to all the video notes and all the tools and all the tips and all the prompts and resources from today, then I will plug that into my free SEO course. If you scroll into this free SEO course, it comes with hundreds of tutorials, tips, templates, etc. And if we scroll down to the free SEO tools section, I'm going to add a new lesson called Gemini 1114 Experimental. And honestly, the tool is better than I expected, right? So I know typically Gemini is not that great for writing content when I've tested it in the past, but for coding, it seems absolutely great. For doing logical stuff, seems really good for that too. And it is completely free to access, so I can't really complain there either. So if you want access to all the video notes and prompts from today, all you need to do, just go inside my free SEO course, go to free SEO tools, then Gemini 1114 Experimental. Now, if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session, feel free to put that in, link in the comments and description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month, generate thousands of dollars in sales. You can book in your free SEO strategy session, and this will help you because you'll get a free SEO domination plan, discover the secrets to link building, we'll answer any questions you have, you learn the best link building strategy for your website, plus how to quickly outrank, how to 10x SEO traffic based on what's working for us. This is completely free. Normally consultants are charging like thousands of dollars for this sort of stuff. We're giving it to free because we want to help you. Check it out, link in the comments and description. See you on the next one. Bye bye.